Jeremiah Bishop's kind of slow. He doesn't surprise me that he's 45.
I don't think JB is slow, and I definitely wouldn't challenge him to Monjigesic. Some people
say that under his race suit, he also wears a red G-string and suspenders. Some say...
Money, dude.
That's the douchiest thing I've ever seen anyone do, ever. Okay.
All right, here we go. Let's start this up.
And the rule is you're passing on the left, right? Did someone shout? Oh, no rule. Hey, you pass.
Couple seconds. There's Cary Epstein, blue shirt on the left. I did not get a great start. I was in too small of a gear, and I screwed up. And now I got a couple places to make up. I guess I'm in 5th.
Get on him, go!
Todd right in front of me.
Get on his wheel! Pick up the pace! Go!
Now, you might think that that's mean, me yelling at Todd like that, but I'm doing it because he's my friend. And at the start of a cross-country mountain bike race, kind of like it's, my job is to hold the wheel of the guy in front of me. The guy in front of me's job is to hold the wheel of the guy in front of him. And for people who I don't know or don't care about, I'm just going to go around them and not say anything and see you later. But because Todd is a friend, I realize that's weird kind of encouragement, but and probably if he could be on the wheel of the guy in front of him, he would have been. He had a better start than I did, though. And this is a guy who was in the hospital last night in a gurney, waiting to get surgery. And then they're like, "Oh yeah, you know what? We're not going to do the surgery. Come back another day." And Todd's like, "Oh, you know what? I'll do the race." So can't really get on him too hard. But as you can tell, I am dying here. It's been a long time since I did a cross-country race, and I forgot just how hard they start. Skin of my teeth and that's what I'm hanging on by here. I should have done a little more top end stuff for my warm up. I did a long enough warm up, but I don't think I went hard enough. I didn't get the heart rate up high enough during my warm up to be ready for something like that, because that was intense. But in case you're new here, it's basically a VO2 max effort to start the race and then hang on, is kind of how this works. And unfortunately, the reason you have to try so hard at the beginning of the race is because once it gets into the single track, passing is next to impossible. You gotta be like on the mark, like ready to like gun it, like in a spot where you think you might be able to pass. And but also, like if you come up to somebody quickly, you can say, "Hey, excuse me, when you get a chance, let me go," blah blah blah, kind of something like that. And usually people let you go. And now we just saw that. You'll see the shrubs on the left and on the right, and kind of my elbows will be catching them. I had pretty bloody elbows at the end of this race. No crashes, but very bloody elbows because of the overgrowth. But it's kind of how it is. the pace is starting to settle down. We got Dan leading and Marco in second, and I'm in third. We are coming up to, I'm looking for the spot. There's a Strava segment called Left and Right. It starts here. And see, now I'm like, I'm saying to these guys and to myself, like, come on, let's go. Like, now's the fun part. Now we should race. Now, charge. So this left-right segment is awesome because it's negative 0.5% downhill for the segment, and it's you know, so you can go plenty fast and just rail the turns, which we're not doing. On this day in the race, we did a 3:34 for the segment. April 23rd, I did a 2:23 for the segment by myself. In conditions that were a little bit drier than this, I even wrote in the notes that it was kind of dry to get top speed. Like, you look at the trail conditions here, it's like, it's kind of perfect. Like, not loose. I'm not seeing any kind of loose stuff anywhere. You could really rail these turns. Yeah, so what I was saying is a minute and 11 seconds faster by myself through here than we did in the race. Well, because I would have, if I was doing the race by myself, I would have lollygagged the double track at the beginning, and then I wouldn't have put the hammer down until we got to the left-right section. I think we're still in the segment. Got to do this downhill to the left and uphill to the right, and then the segment ends. Not trying to get wet or dirty or muddy if I don't have to. Up here is the split. The sport expert riders go left. In the morning, the beginner riders went to the right there. Now this is a downhill, pretty gnarly downhill. Not super gnarly, but anyway, there's in this race and a lot of races, you'll come across sections of the trail where it's like a down and an up. And the less you brake on the downhills, is the less you have to pedal on the uphills. Off camber uphill turn, which is not great for speed. But I kind of wanted to open up a little bit of a gap there because I knew, or I figured I would brake less for that off camber uphill turn. Up. I really tried to get around them without getting off the bike, but I couldn't. And that year of cyclocross in college is really paying dividends. Unfortunately, you didn't get to see the mount, but it was clean. And unfortunately, no rear view camera, so I don't know. Now that I'm in the lead, I don't have enough. I'm so amped, I can't really turn around. Do I even want to know? I don't know. But I am giving it all I got here. What are we riding? We are on a 2019 Giant Trance, 27.5 wheels, 140 rear, 150 front travel, 469 on the reach for the XL. Probably not. It's aluminum frame. Not the best bike for cross country, but at this point in time, it's like my only Amish bike. The other bike being the Specialized Turbo Levo, which is super fun. This is all uphill. Rider back. I'm trying. Look at the heart rate. Right, heart rate is up there, even though the power number is not that high. What are you gonna do? That was super nice of him. That was the first expert rider we caught. Thank you. I'm kind of just breathing heavy here, just because I can't speak enough to get the words out. So just the labored breathing hopefully is enough. And we got a really nice downhill. This is a pretty good downhill where you can, the more speed you carry. See, we got a little bank turn to go on the uphill. All these little berms are natural. Nobody had to really build those. It's kind of cool. But here's the loose, very loose terrain. Stillwell has a bunch of sections that have loose, sandy kind of areas where you really don't want a 2.2. You really want at least a 2.4, possibly a 2.6. I would totally run 2.6s all the time in here, front and rear, if you could fit it in the rear. A lot of companies, though, will make their 2.6 in like a trail casing rather than a race casing. Yeah, of course. I have to say sport rider coming through because I know I'm passing an expert guy. Just, you know, because it's this thing called race brain, and most of the blood is flowing to my legs and not that much to the brain. So you may say or do things that you might not say or do when your heart rate is at a normal level. Because, I mean, we're operating here at like 95%. 96% of max. This is a kind of loose uphill, kind of take it day by day where you want to go, left, right. You really don't want the middle. It must have been a very damp day here. I don't remember exactly what the conditions were like, but to go up the middle on that climb is usually not the fastest way. But we must have, I mean, you can see there's some moisture there. There's a couple wet spots. It was probably conditions for, I'm sure the front group of the expert field was flying. Okay, so now, you saw me pass a couple of expert riders, but some of you may be wondering, well, why aren't you racing expert? It's like, well, because this is a rough climb. Got to take it in. All right, now here's the thing. I may be leading the sport race right here and right now, but one thing you have to realize is that we're on Long Island, and if you leave Long Island and you go upstate New York or Pennsylvania, I'm not going to be winning. I'm not going to be in the top 10. I will consider it a success if I'm in the top half of the sport field. So top 50% in the sport field in upstate New York or Pennsylvania would be that'd be a dub. I don't know. I'm a Long Islander, so I can't really. It's not. If I say like why are Long Islanders slow, I'm talking about myself as well. Okay, here's a great one. Pedal on the downhill. Do not coast. Pedal on the downhill. Another one. Pedal on the downhill. Pedal, 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 pedal. If you don't come to a crawl on those uphills, you are saving multiple seconds.
What happened to the leader?
Multiple seconds.
Well, no, it's you. Okay, sounds good
Not
to me.
anymore.
That field was an all-out sprint.
I don't remember if I know what he said there. But Marco, I'm trying to recover, but I'm not recovering, and this climb is rough. It's gonna get loose. You want to stay on there's little pieces of cement in here. Stay on the cement for the fastest line. Try to pick the smoothest line to go over those roots. Again, downhill and uphill. Pedal on the downhill. Be in the right gear so that you can get some pedal strokes in. Go for the straight line. I really would recommend riding the course as many times as you can before the race if you're going to do the race. You can always come here and ride. Just so you can get to know what gear to be in, when and where. That's going to save you a ton of time, again, with the sport class.
I have an idea. Let's let everyone catch us up from behind because no one will let us pass. What do you think? Good idea?
Yeah, I'm a little salty
on the left
about the fact that we can't get around these guys. Like, especially like, you're not, you know, those guys aren't. We're literally in first and second. I mean, he let us by, so I'm not going to say too much about that. Here's a nice little open spot. It's pretty flat. Marco's already got past this guy, damn it. Not cool. See, I really need to be putting more power down here than what I'm putting down right now. That is not a lot. The power that I'm putting out here right now that's recovery power. I should be in. Also, while this is semi-open before we get back to the single track. Oh, that's pretty wet. Wow, that is pretty wet. This is a pretty wet Stillwell. See, now we're going to get into the single track here, and it's going to be very hard to pass. This is a pretty fun section, though.
Behind when you get a chance.
So I have a slight fisheye.
Coming on the left. Of course, I lost the pedal.
I'd love to have gone to the inside of that guy. I think, oh God. Yep, came out of a pedal. This dude, props to him. He's on like a 1990 freaking mountain bike here. Go, 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 go. I didn't remember I did that, but that was, yeah, it was the best spot as ever. You're going to get the pass. So spent, I can't really turn the bike the way I would turn the bike if I was not that redlined. See, this is the tiniest little climb, but it's fun when you do it clean, no dabs. Will I get it? I don't remember. Nope. Did not get it. Two dabs. That is terrible. Not cool. I'm going to use the excuse of the 27.5 wheels. Had I had larger wheels, I might have made that. Might have not, but we'll never know. Again, little down, up. Do recovery watts on the downhill. You should always be pedaling if you can be pedaling. Because you can still be recovering while pedaling. Little Rudy section, just be light on the bike, and here's the real roots up here. Try it, you just want to. If you're nice and light on the bike, you're not going to pinch a tire. Might pinch a tube if you have tubes. Now is this climb. This climb is miserable. Miserable. No dabs. We should have no dabs. This is not really challenging. But anyway, if you are going to do this race as a beginner, obviously you need a helmet. After you are sure that you have a helmet and it fits your head, go off of a curb. Make sure you can do some bumps without the helmet going over your eyes, without having to readjust the helmet. If you can't, then you need to fix that before the day of the race. Oh, another dab. Jesus. We're dying. We're dying. Yeah, get the helmet sorted. Make sure that's good. Water bottle. If you're going to do the beginner race, you could probably get away with not even drinking during the race. You know, if it's a half hour, 40-minute effort. One thing I see people do that I don't recommend is like getting a Poland Spring bottle and putting it in your water bottle cage, because the water bottle cage is not designed for a Poland Spring bottle. It's also not designed for those Gatorade sport bottles, which is, I feel like, a marketing fail. Like, let me just run into the back of you here. Perfect. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, why Gatorade didn't just make... You can design the bottle to fit a water bottle cage. Like, I don't know what those bottles are designed for, but they don't fit water bottle cages. Just any bike store, super cheap. Get a water bottle and run it through the dishwasher before you use it, because otherwise it will taste like freaking plastic, and that's not cool. Not cool. Like I said at the beginning, make sure you're in a big enough gear, and by big enough gear I mean small enough cog. The smaller the cog in the back, that refers to like, oh, but he's pushing a big gear. If somebody says he's pushing a big gear, it means the cranks are spinning really slow and the gear inches that he's pushing is very big. But it could be in like the 13-tooth sprocket or 15-tooth sprocket, you know, with the 36, 34, 32 up front, whatever it is. But along with your, you know, you'll spin up the legs and the cadence will come around. And, it would be nice if you have shoes or sneakers that have nice grippy bottoms. For flat pedals, I kind of like to have pedals where I can, sneakers that I can feel the pedal. Like a skateboard shoe, like a Vans, something like that. Adidas. Indoor soccer shoes actually is another one where the sole isn't too thick and you can feel the pedal, because you want to know where the pedal is exactly under your foot. You just don't want it to be too vague. You can slip off the back and get a shinner. That's never fun. Along with being in the right gear, you also want to make sure that your gears work. You don't want to figure out during the race, oh, this gear doesn't work. So there's Dan. Dan caught me and he's leaving me in the dust. And I'm pedaling. Like, look at Cadence. 90-something Cadence. But I'm seeing freaking cross-eyed here. I can't, now I'm in third. Can we catch up on the downhills? Usually we do. Usually we catch up on the downhills. See, Dan is drinking from a water bottle. I was as well. Yeah, I didn't run a backpack. So, here's the funny and interesting part of this whole race, this whole day. So embarrassing. So embarrassing. So, do I let you in on the secret of what's going on here, or do I save it? I don't know. Let's see. Let me think about it. So now Dan got past. And we got this guy in the orange here, with his Iron Man tattoo on his left calf. All right, I'm gonna let you in on the secret. Race brain, again with the race brain, I know. Race brain has told me that this guy right here in the orange is Marco. I didn't know it was Marco during the race, or at the time. Didn't know that until after. But anyway, I didn't really know who to look at or who to pay attention to or really look at anybody before the start of the race, because I didn't know anybody. Like, literally every single person on the start line, I don't know them from a hole in the wall. But now I'm thinking that this guy right here is in my race, and he's not.
And then now,
so
what is this? Wow. Right it back.
How did you catch me? And then now, like, where I'm lollygagging behind, I'm like, I don't understand what's going on here.
That sucks.
So, obviously, I thought this was Marco. And I think I'm right behind. You know, I think I'm at third, but I think I could easily get second. I could easily pass this dude. Like, I'm just looking for the right spot. But I am taking a break.
So, do we have to sprint this out
at the same time? I'm like, am I happy with second?
Well,
never done this before.
That loop that we did at the beginning, that is also in the middle of the race, but it is not at the end. You don't do that loop at the end. You finish the race right before the loop.
So
don't end the single track thinking that, oh, I got another loop to do.
Well,
to finish
except
the race.
for him though, because
there'll be
he's in the expert race.
Black
he
chain
does have
link
to do
fence
loop.
on your
I
left.
Was lying to him.
Towards the end.
Didn't know I was lying to him,
That's,
but I was.
When you see the black chain link fence on your left,
look at my heart rate.
Just
I am
hammer down. All you got. Yeah. Well, we're gonna pass the black chain link fence twice.
Here because I think I'm in third.
You know, once on this lap and once on the second lap.
Race radio,
right,
please
yeah.
come and help me out.
There we go. Perfect. Literally perfect.
Coming towards the end of the lap. That's the train tracks right there. Sometimes you'll see the train going by and we'll wave to people. All right, I'm getting the heart rate back up and putting a little bit more effort in. Man, I spent way too much time behind that guy, yapping and talking, and being non-observant. He was a little larger than Marco. Orange, there was a lot of orange in the kit, but Well, you know, I think the most obvious sign was the fact that he did not have an accent. And if I remember, it sounded like Marco had an accent. Although it was kind of hard to understand him, and maybe it was hard to understand him because I wasn't, you know, clued into the fact that he was speaking with an accent, and I just couldn't understand. Now we're coming up to this, probably the best a little bit longer, but I don't know, I say kind of like the most fun climb. Not that climbs are super fun, but this one is kind of cool. It's almost 180 degree right, and then up a nice little hill. Always going for the smoothest line. Oh, I think I had my suspension locked out the whole race, and I didn't even, because I was in such race mode and race brain, and brain doesn't work. I didn't even realize it until after the race was over. What?
Excuse me?
He literally just fell. Or something. I don't even know. Not sure what. That right-hander is pretty sharp, so if he is unfamiliar with that right-hander, I could see, you know, if you're riding on the limit and you're coming up to that turn and you don't know that turn, I could totally see you messing that up. Yeah, fun little climb though, getting the heart rate back up, getting the cadence pretty high, pretty sharp left. So, shifting up a couple of gears, let's go. And see now, oh man, you should be cranking 250 watts. All right. So, I was going to speak about the cadence. You'll notice a pretty high cadence because, well, a couple of reasons. Number one, I'm redlining, just about redlining the heart rate. So, typically, the harder you go, most people will adapt a higher cadence. If you're, you know, riding at like 80%, you know, and not going too hard. Dude's walking his dogs on the race course as like, what? Anyway, I'm running 175 millimeter cranks. My leg length is 950 mil. So I did some math. 20%, a lot. There's so many different calculators out there, but let's just take one of the more common ones, 20% of your leg length. 20% of 950 would be 190 millimeters. So the whole rule of 20% of your leg length, they don't even, maybe someone makes a 190, but it's not Shimano or SRAM. The longest cranks you're getting is 175. They used to all make 180s. All my bikes in the 90s and the 80s all had 180s. If you bought an XL in the 80s or 90s, they came with 180s. I had multiple pairs of 180 cranks. My Serrata road bike, Dura Ace 9-speed, 180 millimeter cranks. But anyway, so it's a little easier for me, 175s are kind of short, because that comes out to, let's see, 18% is 171 mil, 19% would be 180.5, so that really puts it at 18.5%. 18.5% of my leg length instead of 20. So, comparatively speaking, my cranks are short for my leg length. But look at this power. This is pathetic. All right. That was a little bit better. Glad I said something to myself. believe we're running the Recon Race front
Behind.
and rear. I don't know if those people have anything to do with the race or they just happen to come to Stillwell on the wrong day. I'm not sure. But I do love this race, and I'm really sad that I'm not going to be able to do it this year. I had a little bit of a knee injury. Training was going well. I was doing the 6 days a week. I hadn't missed a day. I made it through all January, February, and March. Well, halfway through March. Without missing a day, without missing a workout. Just getting all the bike workouts in. I was getting the lifting sessions in. Oh, and I got myself a giant Anthem. So we were going to be on 29-inch wheels, carbon fiber frame, Fox factory suspension, on a training plan. I tried out this year. I did start the Trainer Road program. Because I know myself, and I would just hem and haw over every single workout. Like I would probably nerd out so hard on the workouts. I might spend more time planning the workouts than working out. But we're talking like a average about 12 hours a week on the bike. Typically, it was like Monday was an off day. Tuesday was a hard day. And the hard days could be anything. It could be intervals, anaerobic, VO2 max, could be a threshold session, whatever. So Tuesday hard, Wednesday easy, Thursday hard, Friday easy, Saturday hard, and then Sunday endurance. So Sunday would be your 2.5 to 3 hour ride on the trainer, and Monday would be off. You'd be back to Monday off. But it's great to do the Sunday long day thing, because then while it's super cold outside, you suffer through that 2.5, 3 hours on the trainer. But once it gets warm enough to go outside, 4 or 5 hours on the road bike with the little neck group, or with a group. I mean, you don't want to do that kind of going that long by yourself is not the worst. I'll park at Bethpage, go all the way up to Stillwell and back, or the other way, park at Stillwell, go all the way up to Bethpage and back, or go all up and in and around Bethpage. I can mountain bike by myself for hours and hours and hours and have fun. To do that many hours on a road bike, it's I'm not doing that many hours on a road bike. I have to be in a group setting for that kind of thing to happen. But anyway, Trainer Road, did I like it? Did I not? Oh, I kind of liked it, but you have to be engaged with the process. I wish it was a little bit more advanced than it is. See, these turns, I wish I was fresher. But I don't know if you can tell, but we're definitely going faster on this lap through this section of left-right than we did on the first lap. Because, like I said, it is a negative 0.5% downhill. So you have to pedal, but you don't, it's not all about the pedaling. Anyway, so back to the trainer road. Like, if you do decide to do trainer road, you know, one would think that if it has your heart rate and power data and it can see how hard you're working, it would adjust the workouts in the future. But no, that isn't how it works at all.
Behind.
Again, the cool little downhill. The tape to the right, I was looking for this to be not up still.
Thank you.
You can, boom, right down there. Or no, right there. You can go right down there for his little cheater spot. And I was gonna do that if the tape was down, but unfortunately the tape was still up, and I'm not gonna be, oof. That off-camber turn, that looks like it that took a couple people out. But okay, so yeah, the end of every single workout, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1 being like, it was super easy, it was a joke. 5 being, that was all I could do. I could do no more, and or I might have even failed. You know, and then it will back off
Gear.
those particular workouts, right? So you have different intensity level workouts. You have threshold workouts, anaerobic workouts, or VO2 max workouts. So it's so funny how now obviously this trainer road program is based upon like thousands and thousands of people and your FTP, your functional threshold power, the power that you can output for an hour. Even if your FTP is correct, it can get the workouts for you wrong, where you have to either up the workout or lower the workout depending upon you. Oh man, there was an under-over session that I did, and I on the last 4 sections of under-overs, and it was like you're at 110% of FTP for like 45 seconds, and then 90% or 95, something like that, for another 45 seconds, and you know, and then you get to a rest interval that's like 50-60% of FTP. But like I hit 200. I'm assuming that's my max heart rate. I held 200 for like 12 seconds, which is something I couldn't do on an actual bike, on the, you know, riding a bike in the real world, because I think I would probably just fall over. And when you're on the trainer, you don't have to balance the bike. You can just pedal and use everything you got, and nothing has to go, no focus has to go towards balancing. All the focus can go towards pedaling. Great, awesome downhill section. Go as fast as you can. No brakes, no brakes, no brakes. Pedal, pedal, pedal. Get up these hills. Now, this whole time I'm riding, I'm like, where is Dan? Now, he did pass me pretty good, so I'm thinking to myself, I don't think I'm going to see Dan. But at the same time, you heard the conversation I had with that guy with the orange and the Iron Man tattoo. I totally thought that was Marco. And I totally think I'm in second right now. Live and learn. Won't make that mistake again. But anyway, if you are going to do the beginner race, just show up and have fun. It's one lap, and it's not as long as the lap that we do here. Super fun. Come and hang out. Try to get the Cary Epstein autograph. And if you do manage to somehow get the Cary Epstein autograph, come back in the comment section. Let me know. He's kind of elusive, but you can probably track him down. What else can we talk about? Oh, okay, so here's an interesting one. A lot of times I'll buy used bikes when I can. Way cheaper. But being that I ride an extra large, it's usually harder to find them. Like, you know, for those of you who ride a medium or a large, like, yeah, you got a lot more options. A lot more options. Kind of jealous. And, you know, a smaller person on a 27.5 wheel, maybe you'll kind of like it better. Like, honestly, I love the 27.5 wheel. I have this Trans up for sale right now, but I half want to sell it and I half want to keep it because oh my God, this thing rips turns. And it's a great jumper. When 140, 150 travel and being old and being frail of knee, having that much squish when you land is like heaven. And it's a little bit shorter of a bike than a cross-country race bike, so you're not so bent over, so you're not in as aggressive of a position as a cross-country race bike. Cross-country race bikes, while plenty of people jump them very well, Christopher Blevins, Tom Pitcock, Matthew Vanderpool, like throwing tabes and all kinds of stuff, you know, while winning the race and winning the Olympics. It's not as comfortable to jump those bikes because of how long the reach is. Trail bikes, you know, shorter stem, shorter reach, a little more upright seating position, and it's really, really comfortable on the back. I don't mind, my back doesn't mind the XC race bike. The road bike hurts the lower back. Here we go again. Pedal, 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 as much as you can. What's my watts? Oh, see? Yep. Good. I wasn't sure if before I said it. Let's see. Pedal on the downhill, pedal on the downhill. Pedal on those downhills and you'll save seconds and seconds and seconds. Otherwise, you're gonna get bogged down. Now, you know, what am I? Oof, that is some weak numbers. Weak numbers. See, last year before I did this race, I wasn't on a plan. I would just go out and ride and have fun. No plan, just hammer. This year I had a plan, but we got hurt. Okay, anyway, back to what I was saying about buying used bikes. Get what you can. Chinese bikes. Can I get a Chinese bike? Can I Taiwanese bike? Vietnam, Malaysia, who knows? Well, if you've ever watched a Trace Velo video, you know that it's kind of a minefield buying those Chinese bikes. Some are good, some are not good. Whoever can get this one I will pin you to the top of the comments. There's okay, we're not talking about a steel bike or a titanium bike. There's a Chinese carbon fiber bike in the intro. And if you could name the brand, the first person to do that, I will pin you to the top of the comments, and then forever, from here forward, if someone wants to know the answer to that question, they will have to go to the comments and find your answer. I will be doing a review of that bike that I am speaking of, and another carbon fiber Chinese bike, the Lexon. You're not going to hear good things about the Lexon. At least that's my hypothesis. I could be wrong. I haven't gotten to really thrash, or I honestly haven't even gotten to ride the Lexon in the trail yet. I just rode it in the parking lot with a knee that was less than ideal. And from that alone, I'm a little suspicious. But now that we have an Anthem and we have the Lexon has a small advantage in that we have a remote lockout lever, 3-position remote lockout lever. So it's open, pedal, and sprint. I don't know if those both 3 positions that it's called, but that's what we can call it. If you're descending gnarly descents, or not even gnarly, just rooty, if you don't want to pinch a tire, you're running race casings, which are thin, lightweight casings, you're going to want that rear suspension to be as open as possible. So you flick the shock into full open mode to make the rear suspension as active as possible so you don't pinch a tire, because the last thing you want to have to do is throw a plug in the middle of a race. Not that that's the worst thing that can happen, but that's, if you had to have a mechanical during a race, plugging a tire is probably the one you'd want. I mean, it's obviously preferable to breaking a chain. Oh my God, I saw there was, I don't remember what bike it was. In Lake Placid Marathon XC race, I rode past someone who was walking their bike and their bottom bracket was hanging off the bottom of their bike. I never seen anything like it. Especially like on an XC marathon course. Like, that course was pretty boring. It's probably the worst it's the worst cross country course I've ever had to race. It was so uninteresting. It is like 90% cross country ski trails. I don't cross country ski. I didn't even know. I'm like, what is that? I don't know what that means. Cross country ski trails. Is that like cross country mountain bike trails? Because if that's what it means, that's cool. Well, that's not what it means. We're talking 10 to 15 foot wide paths of grass. And there will be like a single track line of matted down grass, dirt, whatever. That's going to be your riding line. It's going to be your fastest line. Obviously, you want to ride on the dirt where there's no grass. You don't want to be squishing the grass. It's much slower to be doing that. Once in a while, they would connect one path of cross-country ski trail to another path of cross-country ski trail, and you'd like cut through the woods to get there. That would be your single track. And in there, that was like the only part of the course where you actually kind of needed a mountain bike. Like some parts were freaking rooty, very rooty. To the point where it was like, I was, you know, obviously I wasn't at the pointy end of the race last year during this, but man, like being, you know, so many people in such a spread out course, like what ends up happening is you're near people, and I would pass this person on the downhill, they would pass me on the uphill. We'd say hi, like every time. I'd pass them on the downhill, they'd pass me on the uphill. To the point where it was like comical. So this is, I enjoy this part of the track. It's still, man, heavy pedaling. Still wish I was on a 29er. I'm not catching this guy as fast as I would have liked to catch him, but I'm just kind of, I'm letting him know I'm back there, because why not? And if he can speed up or slow down to his gauge, you know, I'm trying to gauge where I can pass him. Maybe he's trying to gauge a spot where he might let me go past. I don't know. There's not, and I'm like, I can't surge because I'm like,
Okay, on the left.
I'm redlining it. Oh, here we go. That was super cool. So he just, like, he saw a spot. There was a little slightly wider portion of single track there. He gave me the wave. I didn't really have to say on the left. That was kind of dumb. That was kind of stupid. That's something that you say to someone who doesn't know that you're there. And obviously he was waving me past. What else? Oh, the metrics, the power, cadence, heart rate, all that stuff. This was not easy to do. I had to use Garmin Virb software to get this on here, because I recorded this with a DJI Pocket 2, which is not an action camera. It's like a vlogging camera with a physical gimbal, not a digital gimbal. Your action cameras have digital gimbal, and they capture a wider field of view than what you're seeing. What they do is they shrink it down, and that's how they do the stabilization. This camera actually has an actual physical gimbal. I just have to be careful not to. I did knock it. I hit it one time with my hand somehow, some way, but it's on my chest. It's pretty light, pretty unobtrusive. Like it's not a problem. It's not in my way at all. It's not impacting my breathing at all. I honestly can't even tell that I'm wearing it. The USWE pack, I find, makes my breathing more labored than the camera chesty, whatever you call it. Yeah, the USWE pack, not a super huge fan of the USWE pack. I bought a running pack, running hydro bag from AliExpress. It's $30 for the pack and the bladder, and it has little, like the straps, it has pockets on the straps, so you can, like, I love having the little tiny pockets on the straps, which the USWE does not have, because on one pocket on one side I keep Stan's dart, and the other pocket on the other side I keep the Cliff gels, the caffeine Cliff gels, which is not something I would use for an hour race. but it's a little easier access than like your back pocket. I definitely used it like in the Nachung Epic, that gravel race, and I did use it at the Lake Placid race. Oh, speaking of, if you're watching this, you probably live in the New York area. Get yourself up to that Lake Placid World Cup. Like, if people don't go, so they got a 3-year contract, and it's like, we're going to do this for 3 years, and then we're going to reassess, and we're going to see if we're going to renew that, or we're just going to say, yeah, that was cool, thanks for doing it, we're done. Please go if you even like mountain biking at all. This year they're going to have downhill, and they're going to have cross country, XCO, XCC, elite men's and women's, U23 men's and women's, and if you do want to race, you can. You don't get to race the XCO or XCC course, but if you show up there a couple days early, or maybe you go out there on a rain day, or there's ways that you can get on that course and ride it. Because it's a big lap, so if you just like walk out there and ride your bike and just go ride, it's kind of cool. I thought it was freaking awesome. Even though I didn't know the layout and which way to go, and if I didn't know if I was going backwards on the course, forwards on the course, I'm like, how does this go? If I go this year, which we'll see how the knee is, whether or not I race, I want to go. I may or may not race, don't know. But check out the downhill race, check out the cross country race. Lake Placid is a really cool town. There's plenty to do up there. Mount von Hovenberg is the mountain. Here's the skinny. I love this. I missed it the first lap. Boom, right there. I don't know with 800 millibars if you're getting through that. You might have to cut them down to 760 or something. I literally stayed at the campground across the street from the venue. I could have walked, but it was easier just to ride my bike to the venue. They have bike checks at the venue, like a code check. So if you want to ride your bike from the campground to the venue and then just check your bike, they'll give you a ticket. And you do not have to worry about your bike. Like, your bike will be in like a sea of like other S-Works bikes. You shouldn't feel scared that your bike is gonna not be there when you get back. But you'll get to, I mean, it's there's plenty of vendors there, there's plenty of pits, there's plenty of pro riders. You get to walk around the pits and see all the pro race bikes, and although the pro rider bikes have their names on the top tubes, so you'll go past the Trek pits, which is Trek and Specialized were obviously the two biggest, but it's like, oh look, there's Evie Richards' bike, and that's like kind of cool because it's going to be the white one with the rainbow bands on it because she's fast and world champion. Here we are coming up to that last climb. You were just able to see Dan. I know that if I try to go harder, he's just going to go harder. So I'm not going to push it too much. Look at the power. Oh, decent power. 500 watts, that's what Vanderpool does for an hour. It's probably his zone 2. Oh, thanks, buddy. That was a very heads-up move. He was just a trail runner, and I guess he heard me coming. In the home stretch, be coming up to that chain link fence. Here's a little dip. Hammer down. Get that heart rate up. Come on. Are you even trying? Let's go. The power, I mean, the figures are off by a couple of seconds, a second or two, because the Garmin Virb is no longer supported software, so it is nearly impossible to use. But this year, I got an Insta360 Ace Pro 2, and putting the metrics on with your Garmin is as simple as it can possibly be. Here we are coming to the line. Let's go. Get arrow. Come on, go faster. 197. Is that all you got? Are you even trying? Sheesh. And here I think I'm coming into the second place finish. Woohoo! Look at this. 110.55. Oh man. Not second place. Let's see how this conversation goes.
Good race.
Oh boy, it's gonna be embarrassing.
You guys fucking spat out of hell in that first half. I went down. Where you went down? It was so loose there. I went down in practice. Oh yeah, it was so loose there. So, was under grip. Nice.
How many falls did you take? One?
None.
None?
I got a pass.
Are these all scrapes from the bushes?
Yeah.
Shit. Oh, good. All three of you.
The same time I went down again.
So, it was great.
Good?
Conditions were awesome.
Yeah, it's a perfect
Like,
day.
wasn't too dry, wasn't too muddy. Little slick in spots, especially if you're on Conti Race Kings.
Yeah.
You gotta know the terrain.
Yeah.
But those are fast. Yeah. I have a set, and I was thinking about running them.
I was regretting running them when you two went ahead. I was like, ah, shit, I have no grip.
So yesterday it was even slipperier because it was more wet yesterday, and I rode with these tires, and I was kind of happy. I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna leave them. But I'll be honest with you, if Race Kings came in 2.4s, I would probably run them.
They're so good.
Anyway.
Nice job, dude.
Well,
Got a good picture of you.
I'm pretty psyched.
I'm sure you did
I
well.
should.
1, 2, 3. That's awesome.
Oh.
This is a sick setup. I bet you backed some good footage. Oh, that's cool.
My battery died right with like 2 minutes left to go in that recording. So this is the next day. If I was rambling, or I wasn't making sense, or I was incoherent, or I started a thought and didn't finish a thought, it was because the easiest way to get access to the living room without interruptions is kind of after midnight, so that's when that recording happened, and may have been a little tired. Anyway, back to the race. End of the ride report here. Average heart rate 184, max heart rate 197, normalized power 258. So your normalized power just means that without averaging in all the zeros, you would get zeros every time you stop pedaling to either go downhill or do a turn. So if you don't factor in all those times, that would be zero, because that's kind of sort of unfair on a mountain bike. It's 253. I'm sorry, 258. We had 50-50 left-right balance, which is good. Max power 1,562, which is probably up that climb where Dan had his little bobble. 856 kJs for that race, for those 2 laps. Again, definitely recommend doing that race. Stillwell is an awesome place to go ride. If you can get to the course, to ride the course before the day of the race, that would be tremendously helpful for you. But if you can't, it's marked well enough to where you're not going to get lost if you just show up having never ridden the course. But it's going to be a good time. It's usually some pretty nice weather. There is a possibility of rain because you never know. Hopefully not. And I hope to see you there. Have a great one. And at the end of the day, win, lose, or DNF.
Bikes are fun, and they should be fun. Pip, pip, tally-ho.
Okay, that's it. Relax the grip. Head up. Play with the speed as you go round.
Okay. Okay. No, I didn't have enough. I realized I didn't start my Strava. It's probably a Strava segment around there. Let's see.
Steering will be because you're trying to pull.
Yes, it is. It's always a race.
A little uphill section.
That's it. Deflating. Look at this. Next time you come around, I want to dismount.
Okay.
Perfect. Get back on and go again.